Okay, today Andy here is going to show us how to write a PRD for a payments application with AI. Andy, how you doing over there?
Good. Good to be back, Rich.
Wonderful, man. So, yeah, by all means, why don't we go ahead and start off with seeing the finished product?
Yeah,
Um,
let's go. So yesterday we talked about a few things and we got a lot of questions as to how did we get to where we got to. So Uh, I'll tell you, PRD is where you start. This is the kind of the finished article of what I did and how I ended up building the product. So I created two documents essentially. This
mhm.
is the complete PRD with everything. Sorry, not this one. I think this is my complete PRD. Yeah, with introduction, vision, your problem statement, kind of a solution overview, alignment, your goals, objectives, everything, success metrics, everything that you can think about in a living document. That is the PRD. As
Got it.
to research that goes behind it, the user personas, and everything. So, how did I come up here and how did I build this whole document is what I'm gonna show you guys today. And because it's
Well,
PRD is a big deal, right? So yeah, go ahead.
100%. Before we go ahead and get into it, we have a ton of transitioners that are actually watching our content. Let me ask you this. So, what is PRD stands for product requirements document, but in a quick one-liner, what is a PRD and why would you say a PRD is important when you're demonstrating that you could potentially be a good fit as somebody breaking into product management for the first time?
I think this is the bread and butter of a product manager, right? Every company you go and work in, you will have to create a document. The process needs to be documented in terms of what you're doing, why you're doing it, and that is communicated through this document to all the teams that you're working with, right? Engineering gets their information from this document. Business gets their information from this document. Sales gets their information from this document. So this is the heart and soul of a product. And that is why this is such a critical document and the bread and butter for any new product manager, I would say, or any seasoned product manager as well. It is where you have to do the work and where you have to put your energy in. So that's why.
Got it. Now, before AI and after AI, how much time would it take you to go ahead and put together a PRD? Well, I'm not trying to call out your age, but like how much time does it usually take a product manager to put together a PRD, and how has the implementation of AI changed this part of the job?
So a PRD is, I would say, takes before AI, it would even to get the structure ready, it would take at least a few days, to get the information, put that in, because it's a huge document. It has a lot of things. You have to come up with the vision, the objectives from the management, your goals, and everything. Then you have to put in your user research, your market research, your competitor analysis. You're looking at a lot of things that go into it. But with AI, this has turned into a lot more quicker process where I can literally at least get a structure in quickly within probably a half an hour to a couple of hours, depending on how big the product is and how what essentially we're looking at. So we can look at it from that perspective and start into how can you do this, how can you start from zero scratch and come to a conclusion and or just at least get a structure in of developing this.
Okay. And why
So
don't we go ahead and hit us off with the first step now?
let's go. So well, for this we're gonna need uh AI app. In this case, I'm using Claude because I like Claude from Anthropic. That is my favorite thing to do. You can sign in. I have a plan here that I pay for, but you can use free version as well. You can use any of them. You can use Gemini. You can use OpenAI. Things vary a little bit based off of models, but you can always start by giving it. And so here I'm going to start from scratch on a new uh, chat. Um, so this is where I think I'm going to also introduce prompt engineering, which is very crucial for people to understand as well, because you want to give AI a structure. You want to give AI guardrails
Mhm.
for it to think in that perspective. So, I'll tell you a few things that are important that I think of in terms of when you're writing a prompt or giving it, uh, asking AI anything. So, one of the first important ones is you have to give it a role in terms of, hey, who are you? And once you've given it a role, I'll give you examples, but then you give it some context as to what you're trying to do. And so that it knows what exactly you want rather than it going out into the space and picking out each and everything. And the last one is you give it guardrails as to, hey, stay within these parameters that this is where we're looking for. So I'll start by giving this. Uh, you are giving it a role in terms of you are a senior product manager at a B2B or a B2C, whatever you are looking for to build the product for, right? So here we're doing a product for a payments plan. So we'll say it's a B2C or a B2B, right? It's a B2B company that works for small businesses or something like that. So it's a B2B business to business company, and you are a senior product manager there who's looking to build a product requirements document, right? So that's what we're going to give it. You are a senior product manager at a B2B tech company who's building a payments uh, application. So that is our first, where we're giving it a role and a context. Who are you and what are you building? You Now we're going to tell you what exactly to do. You are building, uh, you need to write a products requirement document that we can uh, use to build the platform. This document needs to have the following. So this is where you're going to give it what all you need inside the document. So I'm going to give it a few things, but for me, you can either give it all of these things, which is a lot of things to give, or in my case, I have a template prepared of my document so I can show people that it's kind of a small PRD. Here it is. Where do you go? Uh, my PRD disappeared. Oh, there it is. So this is a PRD I have that is a template, basically. It has everything inside of it that I'm going to give it to, what all things come into it. I have given it a little bit of stuff. It's kind of a what I was talking about, right? I'm looking to build an app so it's got a few things that I have, then user research and personas, how to get that and things like that. So this is what I kind of give it, but I also you can directly go in and write things is to uh this, I'll just give it this document should contain the following. Let's start with uh, vision and mission, goals and objectives. Then you come to your user slash market slash computer research. Then you have your user personas, user stories. You have functional and non-functional requirements. Um, these are the things that are coming at the top of my head, but at least let's get started with this. So let's see what AI is going to give us. It's gonna, it's working on it, it's thinking about it, and here's a good structure that it's building for us because we gave it a good set of information or a set of rules and guidelines that it can follow to kind of give us a base structure of upon which we can then go inside and start building things for what we are looking for. So look at that. You are getting, it's doing a great job in terms of, from what I can already see, it's building you a good structure. And any new PM or somebody who's just starting into PM can take this document as a base document and learn a lot from this. Essentially, to build all of this, it used to take us at least a month or so, or at least 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, if I'm working 100% on it without any distractions or meetings. Because a lot of research needs to be done, especially in terms of market and user and things like that. And it doesn't just happen overnight. But now you can at least have a structure where you can go into each phase and then start editing and filling it up more and more as you start going into it. You will have a good PRD ready here, at least a base, upon which you can start building onto. So I could have given it more things, but you can at least start editing it here. And this will kind of become a quick way for you to get into things. And we can do more and more as we go into it, but I think this is something that people can use and start with and start building onto. I think we can go deeper into it, but I think this is where it's a good information so far, at least as well, where we've gotten people started. Most of the time, it's hard to just even get started because, as they say, if you get started, you're halfway there. And like, look at that. That's a huge document. It's probably at least a 30, 35, 20, 35 page document that is already built up. It built as such a big that apparently it hit the uh, limit for the day. So, well, at least it's continuing. But yeah, this is where, yeah, I mean, it's going to continue, but then that is what I was showing here in terms of the first documentation that I had here. This is what, it gave a structure here. While it is building, I can talk about it. And then this was something where I was like, let's take an example as a Stripe, right? Stripe has, empowered Stripe's individual users and small businesses to build. So where do you start at the vision and problem statement, right? You always start with the company's overarching mission and vision for that year, whatever that it could be. And then you take that and then you start building things on top of it. So that is where you can always start. And that's where I started. What is Stripe's vision? It's to empower individual users and small businesses to build sustainable, growing income streams through AI-powered financial insights and personalized growth recommendations. So this is the vision that is based off of the vision of what the general vision of Stripe is. Then I went into why individual users and small businesses. So what does that come down to? So the problem statement is over 6 million individual and entrepreneurs and freelancers use Stripe for payments, but lack visibility into their income patterns and actionable guidance to optimize their business performance. They're using the payments plan, but they do not have any insights into it. They do not have the visibility into it. Now they're using other platforms to gain that visibility, those dashboards that the vital information that we already have. Now, if we enable people to give them that power that we're built, that's why what I built in Lovable and we saw in the earlier video. Now they have the power from that to see what their income is, what their expenses are, how can they improve their business, and that's where we are going towards now. But now we have know why we're doing it. There's 6 million individual entrepreneurs and freelancers, or what we would call as gig workers, doing things on their own. These people need to be empowered, and that's a great source for a company to already build onto the already existing customer base, which is not a small user base if you're not fully utilizing it. So that if as in tech terms, that it's you pay like three times more to get a new customer, whereas existing customer, or if you can empower them, you're making more money out of it without spending three times more money on an individual customer. So that is where it would be a great way of getting that. So what is the solution? The solution is an income intelligence in an AI-powered financial coaching feature within Stripe's dashboard mobile app that analyzes users' payment data to provide clear income pattern visualization and forecasting, personalized business performance insights, actionable recommendations to increase revenue, and proactive financial planning guidance. And that is what we saw yesterday. But this is where I think would be a good point to stop and see if people let people digest this and maybe ask us more questions.
Got it. I think this is actually like very good in terms of like the interview process. Uh could you in terms of the interview process, could you email me this Word doc?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I can
Yeah.
send this to you.
I
And
think in a really good way. So we're gonna add this into our
yeah.
little bundle here, but I think in if you go into this with an interview instead of just having one PRD, what
Yeah.
people should have is actually multiple PRDs, right?
Yeah.
So, do you actually have like a bank of PRDs in kind of like your own computer where you can just pull it out and reference it as a template?
Yeah, I mean, I've built like three PRDs uh, on of the projects I'm doing,
Mhm.
because for me that is gold, and that is where everything, like that is where my thoughts go, that is where all my research goes, that is where I, whenever I have to go back and reference, is like, why am I doing this, like why did I build this app? Then I can come back and see, and then I will know, oh yeah, what is the value behind it? Why did we decide to build this? And this is later on, you'll get to know as we go deeper into each of these dark blocks about goals and objectives. Then you have your success metrics, user research, and competitive analysis. Once you come to the user research and competitive analysis, that is where the meat is. And that actually tells you why this is going to come up and help you build what you're building. And this is the real data. When people say data driven, decision making, this is the data they're talking about. It's like, what did you do to get this data? We did user interviews, 45 in-depth interviews with current Stripe users, freelancers, consultants, creators. We surveyed about 1,200 plus responses from Stripe user base, usage analytics, behavioral data. Behavioral data kind of comes from the existing, what do you think, your reviews that people have left in our app store, that you get to information from that. Customer success teams you talk to, you get information from there. So these are all the things that you get the information from, analyze that, build on that, and you're saying, this is what people are telling us, and this is what the data is telling us. That is why we're going to do this. So this is when a lot of people say like, "Oh, data-driven decision making." This is what they're talking about. So that's why we'll dive deeper into all of these things. But I just wanted to give an overview of things into why and how you do things. For competitive analysis, I kind of use Porter's five forces, which is one of the principles. There are various principles you can use to do these things, but we can deep dive into things, and then it would give people a lot more understanding. But I also don't believe in, you know, giving people way too much information that they cannot drink and consume. So I think small chunks of information would let people understand things better.
It's looking good, man. I really want to thank you for your time. Uh, and anybody that is looking to make that transition into AI product management, there's honestly never been a better time. Andy here is actually one of our instructors. With that said, this is looking like one solid PRD. Can you go ahead and email me this while I still have you
Yeah,
on the phone? And would
yeah,
it be cool if we post this up on our newsletter?
yeah, definitely. I can drop it this to you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, champs. I will talk to you all very, very soon. Please schedule that call over.